Welcome to the Tap Room of Truth, where the tales of social commentary never runs dry. This is the Real Shareholders Podcast, where we talk power, politics, and people who actually matter. You, the real shareholders. No filter, no fluff, just real talk. My name is Waimi. I am one of three of your hosts, and on my left is Malachi. On my far right is Obog, and joining us today is somebody as white as snow. His outfit, yeah. So
I tried to match him.
So that was nah. Anyways, he as white as snow, but he's not Snow White. This is Snow Black because he's a black man. Anyways, we are joined with none other than Mr. Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour, politician, architect, activist, our aka Gen Z governor, which we've claimed, the man who ran for governorship in Lagos State based on courage and convictions.
Yes.
No billions, no godfathers in sight. Once again, this is Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour. Let's strap in. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me. Looking forward to this.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with a not so icebreaker question. Okay. Are you strapped in?
I'm strapped in. This is the hot table. So
I don't know why he's always saying the hot table. It's not that deep. Relax. It's not that deep. So when you wanted to run for governor, no godfather, no billions in sight. She came in with the out with the old, in with the new type of politics. What was that thing that was said to you that made you question everything and sort of made you laugh
in regards to what?
You guys can't be serious. Whatever was said that, you need a godfather, you need to have some backing, the young boys, as they say it, and you just looked at it that you can't be serious. This is ridiculous.
To be fair, I don't think I ever had that moment. I feel that the moment I had was about, you see, everything that has become normalized in our politics and electioneering today is because a certain group of people have done the work to normalize it.
Yes.
So to create a new normal, you have to do the work to create a new normal. You have to believe, and you have to do the work to find your audience. You have to do the work to get into the heart of people. I give an example. His Excellency Peter Obi created a new normal. In terms of electioneering, in terms of politics, in terms of going to go and meet the people, going to sell an idea, going to pass information and connect to people directly, right? Which had not been seen in our politics for a very long time. Politics I'll call retail politics, right? That's a new normal. Then there are some people that I would say there's a level they feel that they must show that they're a big man. They must show that they have the money. They must show that they are your orgas. So you vote for them based on the fact that they've accumulated a lot of wealth for themselves. You vote for them based on the fact that they have the thugs and they can intimidate and violent and everything. And that's what they are selling. They don't feel the need to have any grasp of the problems or the solutions. Their manifestos are done by a certain group of intelligent people that are in a room. It's not something that they have given a lot of mind to, which is why you see that they always avoid all forms of debate. Right? So if you have taken time to study a problem, you have taken time to articulate solutions, you are excited to talk about it. Yes. Because you put in a lot of time to understand problems. You've done a lot. I mean, you've gone to the grassroots, you've visited people, so you can see the problems with your eyes, start thinking about solutions. And when you're passionate about something, you're excited to share.
Yes.
But you find that a lot of these people that have normalized this new politics in the last 20 years, it's not about the people. It's about a proliferation of themselves, of their interests, of their hold on state capture, and they advance more and more by, choking and collapsing all these institutions to achieve more of state capture. That state capture is directly proportional to their level of success. You know, there are some leaders. There was a time before them when you talk about Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Chief Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, a number of these leaders of that era where their success was either directly proportional to the freedom that the Nigerian got from Herbert Macaulay, Henry Carr. Their struggle was for the people to be free from colonialism and to be independent, and their greatness was tied to that. And then you had other leaders that came in and their struggle was about free education, access to health, access to human capacity development, and their struggle was directly tied to the success and upliftment of the people. That was their success. That is not the case in this country right now. And Nigeria is currently suffering from what we call big manism, which is a situation where you have a lot of politicians that have come through the ranks in the last 20, 30 years, accumulated a lot of wealth, and just believe that the country is theirs, is their right, and they can do and undo. And whatever other consideration, whether it's about the people, whether it's their traffic, whether it's their quality of life, is completely secondary. Right? So, going back to your question, I feel that, and that's why I started on this journey early. Right? I started 2016, I ran for local government chairman. And that was after I'd participated in a struggle against genetic modified foods that was being brought into this country. I was part of the leaders of a 2,000-man march in the Senate in Abuja. And it was when the senators came out to address us, even though they had pre-warning. I mean, you can imagine the kind of logistics to mobilize between 2,000 to 5,000 people to march on the Senate. They knew we're coming. They knew what we're talking about. And all of the three senators that came out just simply were telling us that they are two-time governors, they've gotten our message, they will relay it to the Senate, and then if there's any need, they will call us. I'm like, no empathy, no holistic thinking, no transformative thinking for the care of the plight of the people that you're supposed to be, that you have their destinies in your hands. And it was after that experience, after that exposure, that I returned to Lagos and I said, I'm going to go into politics. Our people require leaders that actually put them first and have sleepless nights thinking about the well-being of the people. And you see the leaders that we've had that embody that. The country thrived so much under them. Look at, again, Alhaji Lateef Jakonde. See what he was able to achieve in 4.5 years. Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe. These people, they were all about the people, right? So for me, this journey has been one of trying to create a new normal, redefining what politics should be. And we've come a long way. Now people are talking about ideas. People are listening to statistics. People are understanding that you need a deep knowledge of things, because just saying that statistics will chop creates a country that you've gone from 400 naira or 500 naira to $1 to 1,600 naira, 1,590 naira on a good day. Right? So yeah.
And that's on a good day. Well, I like how you said you started young, which takes me to my next question. In a system that is notorious for pay to play, and thank you for mentioning how you went to the Senate. Honestly, I didn't even know that. I thought I knew a lot about you, but well, thank you for sharing that. That sort of was part of your, I have to be in office. What would you say about structure? So let me rephrase that. It's a notorious system of pay to play. How have you been able to structure your campaign previously, now, and going forward? And since we're talking about access to power, what is it that you have learned from those who claim to have access to power? Because I believe everyone should have access to power. But those people that claim that, we are the ones that have power and the access, what have you picked up from them? And how has it helped you to structure your campaign?
Okay, so structure matters. It's important that we say this. Structure matters. You can have all the goodwill in the world, but because we're in a country where there's so much illegality in our electioneering, where if you do not supervise or observe what is going on at the polling unit, people will always do the illegality and do the wrong thing, right? Unlike places like in America or England where elections just happen on a regular day, people are going to work on that day, they just stop in, they vote, they carry on, That's not the case in this country. So when you think about structure, you need to have people at every polling unit. That is usually what a political party provides for a candidate. And when I ran in 2016, I ran under the COA party for local government chairman, Keja local government chairman. And it was a very difficult one because we had to mobilize people and build structure at the same time. That was one of the hardest things to do. So building your structure in a party and mobilizing at the same time. So that gave me a very interesting insight into grassroots politics. But at the same time, I have to say that it's just, you have to do the work. You see, a lot of people get away with a lot of things, especially the ruling class, the current political elite, because they do the work.
They do.
The people that mean bad for this country, they work far harder than the people that mean good for this country. They work far harder. They have multiple meetings. You see the way they are moving as if they are in opposition. Even though they know they are going to rig and win an election, they are moving as if they are in opposition. The amount of resources, the amount of fights, the amount of blackmail, the amount of intrigue that they play with, and speaking to the minds of the youth, this new voting bloc that we have, it's about organizing, getting yourselves organized, meeting. It has to be, yes, we can use technology, we can leverage technology, but it has to also come to the ground. Because all of you can be tweeting and think, oh, you have a whole bunch of people.
Exactly.
But if all of you live in Etiosa, then Ikorodu, Badagry, Shomolu is already you are blindsided. Right? But if you have a network, so we have to adopt the strategy of the Jehovah Witness, the strategy of the Pentecostal church, where there is deliberate intentionality in building as many branches, as many structures, and having a very reasonable spread. Right? So that's what I understand by structure. And we're doing that, we're working on that and building those structures. But it cannot be for us to get a country that works for us, that works for our interests. It's not a Gbadebo thing. It's an our thing. We are coming and choosing to stand against a government that does not work in our interest. And as a young woman, this is not something that should be a complicated thought. You should be able to think, okay, what's the job situation like here? What are the revenues that Lagos is getting relative to the experience I'm having in Lagos? What is the potential revenue Lagos can be getting? How can they impact all the youth that live in this place and generate a situation where so many people have jobs that they are even paying more in taxes, so the government is earning more? What are the opportunities that the government is not taking? As young people, you are supposed to think of that, right? Because at the end of the day, I understand we are very resilient people. In other countries, the country will be up in flames by now. With the kind of suffering. I was thinking about that on my way, and I was thinking about this anecdote of the frog that's in hot water that's boiling gently until it just dies. It keeps adapting until it dies. Literally dies of adaptation. Right? And that is not going to, because it's not just about us now. At some point you're going to be a father, you're going to be a mother, you're going to be a father. You need to think about the environment that your children are coming into. Because are all of us going to Japa?
No. Definitely.
All of us are not going to Japa now. All the people that are making those decisions to move, they are looking for a better environment to raise their children in. Right? I think that my children have a right to be able to grow up in Nigeria and have an excellent environment, have an excellent education. We are very rich. We're a very rich country. We're just badly mismanaged with poor leadership. So that's one. And this takes us into your other question. The people that have access to power. You see, unfortunately, And this was another thing. I remember during elections, you say, "Oh, Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour does not have any experience in government."
Exactly.
I say, "In which government? I don't want to experience your government. Or what experience am I going to have? The experience of stealing, the experience of looting, the experience of illegality, the experience of I will be regarded as a good employee if I am able to shore up the structure of illegality and stealing and looting of our commonwealth. That's how I will rise." So is that the experience I want? I mean, if we're in a situation where late Alhaji Lateef Jakonde was still alive and I see the phenomenal things that he's done in Lagos in 4.5 years, I see how he's so focused on his integrity, he's making sure that his businesses are not doing any business with the state government, he's giving us free education, he's opening up healthcare services, opening up Lagos to be better connected. I will be jealous of the people in that administration. I will feel insecure because these are phenomenal people. They are making a difference. They are literally changing lives. There are so many people that would not have had an education if not for the man's policy making and policy formulation and policy implementation.
I agree.
Right? I'll be jealous of those people. So if those people tell me you don't have experience, okay, please give me a job. Let me come and gain experience. Let me intern.
I agree.
But that's not the case here. So when I look at young people that I see that they have access to power, all of them, I'm sorry, and some of them might be my friends, but it's just ass kissing, ass lickers. I don't think that in 50 years they will look back and tell their children that they were proud of saying the things that they are saying or supporting this government, knowing the truth, knowing the reality, right? That being said, there are some people that are in government that are making a difference.
Okay.
I have to acknowledge that. In this government, there are some people that are making a difference. It might be small, it might be it might have worked at a better level, at a faster rate for more people if they're in a better environment. But there are some people that are doing some things, right? So yes, we acknowledge that. I cannot come and say everything is bad because that's not fair. At the same time, there's a truth that must be told. And unfortunately, they cannot tell that truth because they value their proximity to power.
Okay.
Right? And lastly, as young people, you have to make that decision. You have to define your why. My why is guided by one line: maximum impact for the maximum amount of people in the most efficient way at the cheapest possible price. Do you understand? Now, that line alone does not allow me join the ruling party. So you will not hear, like you said, you were not aware that I participated. So from GMO activism, return history to school activism, I got involved in politics. I ran for local government chairman. After that, I ran for senate, and then I ran for governor. So that was COA party, PDP, Labour Party. You will never hear Gbadebo was one time in the APC or the ACN or the AD, because everything that I feel is wrong with Lagos is their responsibility.
For 26 years now?
Yes. So I cannot lose my integrity to joining them. I cannot. There are a lot of people that can. I cannot. That's my own why, right? And for me, as young people, you don't have to go down the beaten path. You can create your own path, right? And that's something I feel that Nigerians are not really open to doing. They're not ready to do the work of creating their own path. No matter with the technology we have and how much easier it is to do, we always just want to fall back into what we've been told. We don't want to question. And until we start questioning and having these hard conversations, Nigeria should be a superpower. It's not story, it's not talk. I've traveled around, I've been around, I've been to some of the best schools in the world. Nigerians are there, they are doing fantastic. So I know we are intelligent human beings. It's not a situation of, you people are black people, so you cannot be great. No, we are great people. Wow. When you look at the history of even African Americans and things they've invented and brought to the world, go and look at where they shipped and stole all of them from. A lot of them came from Nigeria, right? So we are intelligent human beings. Then we are sitting on land that is resource rich, right? There's so many minerals that are leaving this country on planes that are not being accounted for, right? So many. So there's a lot that we can do, but we must start questioning. We must start looking into our education system. We must start looking into our identity as Africans, as black people, as Nigerians, or as Yoruba, as Igbo, as Hausa, compared to the identity that the colonialists gave us, so we can figure out who we are. You look at the Indians, look at the Chinese. When the British left, they went back to look at their identity. They took the good things that they brought, they left the other things. And that's who they are today. And you see the greatness that they are achieving. And these are some of the questions and hard conversations that I'm praying that this next generation will be able to face head on.
Right. Thank you.
Sorry, that was a long monologue.
No,
But I mean,
fine.
that's why we're here. That's why it's a podcast.
It's fine.
I'm passionate.
No,
I'm passionate.
because
It's good.
And she's asking some very triggering questions.
It's fine. So I like how you've gone heavy-handed on a new system, new ideologies, forging your own path, an idea that has come to stay, as it is said. Piggybacking off what you just said, forging your own path. What does it take for a clean candidate? Emphasis on clean, right? Because you're trying to forge a new path. You are not induced by the present system and you're forming and creating something new. What does it take a clean candidate? And I know why I'm saying clean, because I believe that you can come with clean hands. It's just unfortunate that it's a very filthy system and we don't need more filthy people to make a filthy system clean. You need clean people to go in there and clean up the filthy system. What does it take a clean candidate? What do you have to do as a clean candidate beyond ideology?
That's a fantastic question. Fantastic question. So, when I was in Kowa Party, I joined the Kowa Party because of this concept of a clean candidate, a clean party, people that are clean, there's no rumor, there's no allegation, there's no nothing, and they wanted to make a difference. Now, because Nigeria has been held hostage by people that have literally corrupted the system for so long, it's very difficult for such a party to thrive. It's very, very difficult. An analogy or a depiction will be, okay, this whole table is very dirty and I want to clean it, but somehow I expect that dirt to not get on my hands. That is not realistic. And I remember I had that conversation because Kowa Party was really, I felt that a part of me broke in that process, because prior to that, I've always been very sheltered by family. And I spent a lot of time, 6 months campaigning. Campaigning not this big with boss, going to people's houses, door to door, sitting down, talking to these people, talking about their problems, understanding it. And because it's grassroots campaign, it's local government, not government, it's not governorship. So you have the time to actually meet people one-on-one.
Yes.
Now, the challenge for me was to see people that understand what their problem is. But then on the day of election, they're asking you to pay them to vote. That broke me. It broke the idealism that I had left. And I don't think I've ever been the same again. I cried for a good couple of weeks, so really, I swear to God. After the election, because this is what happened. I could not bring myself to buy a vote, because this was the thinking. If I buy your vote, I lose respect for you. If I lose respect for you, I cannot serve you. And if I cannot serve you, then there's no point in being here anyway. So I'm not going to buy your vote. What I will do is public good. So I fumigated entire wards, their gutters.
Oh, wow.
Fumigated entire wards. I did skill acquisition programs.
That was the LGA
LGA, yeah.
campaign.
In Kenya, yeah.
Okay.
Anifo Sheward, Seriki Aro, all of them. So I had my people, they would wear the uniform I sewed for them with Koa Party. There are still pictures online if you have time, go search. And they would just go around fumigating the entire gutters of the place. I could live with that. I was doing a public good, right? I was showing you a taste of what governance would be like under me. Empowerment programs, everything that I could do to my capacity that I would do if I was local government chairman. And these same people, I remember on the day of elections, my agents were calling from everywhere. People are here, they say they like Gbadebo, they want to vote for Gbadebo, but Gbadebo must drop something, they would rather take Gbadebo's 500 naira than APC's 1,000 naira, but at least he should drop something. Hey? I said, wow, these same people. Hey? And so after that, we came third in the election.
Oh, wow.
It was APC, then PDP, then Koa Party. And I remember I had to take cash to go pay the agents, right? So I'll go there. And the thing is, because my own brand of campaign is connecting to people, igniting hope. You have people that will never have come out to vote that were now excited. And this is a dangerous thing because you're now carrying the hope of people on your shoulders. That's why I cannot just decamp. I cannot just, you beat me, so, if you can't beat them, just, no. I am a symbol of people that choose hope. I'm a symbol of people that choose to say something can be different and we're going to go behind this young man. And the moment I go against that idea, I am killing the hope in so many people. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's deeper. For me, it's deeper than just, I'm a politician, I'm contesting, I'm in this. No. And I remember I'll go and meet people, I'll meet women that we've talked about their children, primary health care, creating a creche at local government so they can go and sell in the market and come back and pick their children up. Very fine-tuned ideas that make the lives of people better. And they are with tears in their eyes telling me not to give up. I'm with tears in my eyes saying, I'm sorry, this doesn't work. And I'm paying their money and I want to give a speech and I can't give a speech. Qatar is coming out from my nose. I'm crying like a child. I remember my father called me because before that my father said, this is what you want to do, Koa Party. I can't choose whether I want to do APC or PDP. We can call people to give you a soft landing this way. I said, no. So I remember one time, because his friends were calling him to be like, I see your son's poster everywhere. He's doing so well. We're so proud of him. So one time he told me to come to the house. Some of his friends were there, and they were all coming to hail me. Well done. We're so proud of you. I won't say I just cried. This was not a joke. I'm telling you because I gave it my all.
Okay.
My all at the time. A major business that I had, and I don't say this publicly because this government is very vindictive. You know where to go and trap your money. I was heavily involved in commodity trading, so I was exporting cashew at the time.
Oh, wow.
And my warehouses were in Ida and Kogi State. So because I had devoted so much time to this local government election, my warehouses were broken in two. Things were stolen. And that time, a ton of cashew at the time was like 570,000 naira.
It's 2016, yeah?
Yeah, so if just a couple of bags go, you're looking at millions.
Yeah.
So that one was in the back of my mind. So you have sacrificed all of this, and then this how this thing just played out. But I say all that to say that there was something that a gentleman said to me one time. He said, Gbadebo, you cannot be so focused on this idea of purity. You are a politician. You must be all things to all men. You are now playing the game of kings. We had kings before. The British came, replaced them with this structure that we now use and talk about as politics. They are playing the game of kings. That means that you must be a diplomat. You must be a warrior. You must have financial strategy. You must have strategy. You must be able to handle the dregs of society and the good of society. You must be all
balanced.
That's what makes you king. Okay. So if you are going to clean this table, I go back to the first side, you are going to get your hand dirty. Right? You're going to get your hand dirty. The point is, by the time you are done cleaning this table, because so much of you is clean, there will still be a lot of clean on you to make this table beneficial for all the people that will come and sit on it.
So, thank you, Gbadebo.
Let him go next.
Thank you, Gbadebo.
That was a fantastic question. I hope I did it justice.
Yeah, you did.
Thank you, Gbadebo, for the analogy and then telling us that you were an idealist before. My question is hardcore politics. So let's get into the gritty.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah. So in 2023, protested under Labour Party.
Yes.
You were always with, Peter Obi whenever he came to Lagos or at least any other place he went to. Most people say that your emergence in the Labour Party, even in PDP, because you've talked about Kowa Party and then the PDP side and then the Labour Party side, is because of former governor of, I think it's Ondo State, Chief Bode George. I need to ask a question. It's a two-in-one question. Is Chief Bode George your godfather? That's the first thing. And the second question is, if Peter Obi, because you're hearing talk of a coalition right now, if there is a coalition, would you join his part or would you run solo? So it's a two-in-one.
Okay. So Chief Bode George and my father went to school together.
Okay.
They are very good friends. We're in Unilag together, and there's an uncle. I see him as an uncle.
They went to Unilag?
Yeah, my father
Wow.
and uncle, Chief Bode George, were in Unilag at the same time, and that's where their friendship blossomed from. He's an uncle to me, a father figure to me. He's someone that I can always go for advice, and would always give advice. But when people say all this, then they should look at the fact that in the parties, Jando that emerged as Labour Party has been that did not be now. So whether someone is my godfather or not, right? Clearly, there's a level of I don't know what to call it.
Who he rates, right?
Whether it's who he rates, whether it's who the party rated, whether it is all of them, I would say that anybody that's asking that question, go and ask the party and ask them what they think now.
Okay.
Right? After all of that. Then the second question about His Excellency Peter Obi. Peter Obi, His Excellency Peter Obi is my leader.
Okay.
I am unapologetic about that. He is one of the politicians that I look up to and say, you know what? If I could be a politician like anybody, it would be His Excellency Peter Obi.
Wow.
Because that's a brand of politics that I've always, it directly ties to how I look at politics, how I look at life. The idea of connecting, the idea of servant leadership, the idea of being a philosopher king. You are not a big man because you are a big man and you have accumulated money. You are a big man because your people are so wealthy. They are doing so well.
Okay.
It's like when the president of China is moving, he's not just moving with the strength because, I am a big man, I am very rich, I have all these friends and I own all this property and I own shares in this oil block. No! He's moving because his people are creating some of the most spectacular warships, some of the most spectacular AI intelligence, some of the most spectacular electronic cars, solar energy. He's moving like that because he lifted so many of his people out of poverty. He's a force. He's an entity that is going to be the next world power after America. And they did that through hard work. The people. At a point in England, to be a lord of a section of the country, your pride was when people come and visit, they see the amount of wealth in the place that you are supposed to be in charge of. Success. So your leadership is beneficial and is lifting people up so that greatness is all around you. Not power where it's at the detriment of the people. You are impoverishing people almost deliberately so that every 4 years when you bring out your 1,000 naira, people must make decisions based on their belly, not their mind. Right? So for me, when I listen to His Excellency Peter Obi speak, his grasp of details, of numbers, his vision when he's comparing and contrasting based on the capability, the similarity of nations, and what you can potentially use that opportunity to do, is something that it really warms my heart. Also, the idea, like, I was at a table once when, oh no, I was not at a table. We're having a conversation during the campaign about a media bill that they brought to him. They brought a bill, a proposal.
2022?
This 2020 elections, for him to have banners and billboards all over Nigeria. And His Excellency Peter Obi said it was a ridiculous amount. It was not a ridiculous amount. It was the amount that it would cost to do that.
Yeah.
And he said, why should I do that? Everywhere I go, I take time to take pictures with the people that want to identify with me. I've been on a flight with His Excellency Peter Obi. When he comes down from the plane, he will stand and wait. All the people that want to take pictures with him will take pictures with him. When they are done, that's when he will go.
Wow.
So he said, these pictures, those are my posters. Those are my banners. Do you understand?
Makes sense.
So he will go to the villages and sit down and talk with you. He will sit down. He will engage.
Yeah.
Right? That is the connectivity. Right? That's that kind of politics. Now, some other politicians that are big men, they leave that work to be done with their money. So they'll have some surrogates in some places, send them money, or you'll go and give this money on my behalf, and I will vote and get them to vote for me. So that's the difference. And that's this new politics that His Excellency Peter Obi has normalized. This idea that, let me connect. I'm not depending on money to connect people. I'm going to connect people. I'm going to sell my ideas. It's something that I greatly value.
Okay.
And it's something that I feel will truly bring a change to Nigeria. So yes, to your question, Peter Obi is my leader. Where he goes, I follow.
Wow. Okay, so where he goes, you follow. All right, so let's get into the next question I think I have. Because again, like I said, we're digging into the politics. So in Lagos, there's something called the Governor's Advisory Council.
JC.
So, yeah. I need, because you have contested in Lagos. In fact, I dare say that the last election in Lagos was very heated, right? And people would have said on a good day you won the election.
Yeah.
So, please educate our audience. What is the JC and why were they set up? And can anyone win elections without the JC? Because they seem so powerful that if they do not anoint a candidate, in quotes, the candidate cannot win or the candidate cannot move, whether it's a local government election or it's a House of Rep election or a Senate election. What is that? Please unbundle that for us.
And who formed them? Or
Exactly.
By
Who for exactly? Thank you, Malaki. Because I mean, they just came out from nowhere.
No, they did not come out from nowhere.
Okay.
You see, every party has its norms. And just because you're not in that party does not mean that everything that the party is doing is wrong. I cannot say that. The GAC is the Governor's Advisory Council. Is supposed to be a group of enlightened Lagosians or people that have been in the government in that party. They're supposed to be there to hold the governor accountable, talk to the governor, make sure that the interest of the party is protected.
Okay.
And also give the governor advice, because a lot of them are former governors, former states, former speakers. Yeah, former governors are supposed, like Babatunde Fashola is supposed to be part of GAC. His Excellency Akinwumi Ambode is supposed to be part of it. You have former speakers of the House, I believe Mr. Akufo-Addo is to be part of it. Former senators, I think that's where Obanikoro comes to be part of it. So a number of people that have served in one capacity or the other that are supposed to bring their experience to light to help the governor. It's an advisory council. So in theory, it's a good thing. But as with all things in Lagos, theory and reality is very different. You find a situation where in reality is more of a team or a group of people that suppress and sort of run the idea of democracy through this finely tuned tube that must protect their interests, because most of them push for their children to become local government speakers or to stay in government without the competition that's supposed to happen at local government level that's supposed to foster democracy.
Yeah.
where the people at the ward level, at the party level are supposed to be able to say, this man will represent our interests better. This man or this woman is good, their character is good, and they represent something that we like. And they're supposed to be able to vote and get their wish to be taken to that level. But that's not the case. You have a situation where 3/4 or even more of the state assembly came out to say that they do not want this man representing them anymore as their speaker, as their head, as their leader. They stood behind it, despite the invasion by security forces of the state assembly. But somehow with the JSC and the president all the way from Abuja, that same person got replaced. Conversations about 17 billion used to make a gate for the state assembly has gone under wraps. Conversation about the guns that they found in his office have gone under the carpet. Conversations about all forms of corruption that came out have gone under the carpet. And we've gone back to the status quo. And that is all thanks to GAC and the government and the structure. See, the APC structure exists for one thing and one thing alone: to create and normalize a system that milks the Commonwealth of Lagos State solely for the sitting president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his family, the cronies around him, and people that are associated with that. The only other structure that is very similar to it is the organized mafia.
Wow.
Right? Where there are constant kickbacks all the way from the local government chairman
Gets to the top.
going up, from this councillor going up, the land grabs that are happening, the indigenous communities that are losing their land, and you find that it's this structured, these people that just come and take, constantly taking, and the state capture that has emerged from it, right? That is all that it's there to just do. It secures it, and all the structures that are put in place, from local government structure to the JAC that you've spoken about, to the party structure itself. I mean, when you really think about it, nobody runs for the state assembly as a speaker. All of them are equal.
Yes.
They're all equal when they get in there. If all these equal people say that we don't want you anymore, why couldn't you just let them have it? It's a democracy. But you know, I said to people that, you see, when you have normalized or you clap for, because it does not affect you, the intimidation and the suppression of democratic values, eventually to come and meet you on your own doorstep. Because now you have normalized the idea that might is right. That it does not matter what the will of the people is, I will use violence to take what I want. Right? So you that are even part of them, when you step slightly outside of their will, because now you have an authoritarian regime.
Yes.
Because it's violence that they used to get it.
In this democracy.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, all of us in the state assembly have said we don't want this man anymore. No matter what you want to say about the way it was done, all of them said they don't want him anymore. Are you sure? Yes, they stood up and said yes, they're sure. But somehow you just pushed the guy back in. What is that democracy? Where you have armed men coming to the state assembly, is that democracy?
All right.
It's a very performative thing. But the thing now is this: because in their quest for power and their desperation, they are making the people lose respect. They are demystifying all the institutions, from judiciary to INEC. It doesn't matter. For their will, they are demystifying it. So the people have no respect for these institutions anymore. So when Nigerians get serious, which will be very soon, because the suffering is unprecedented, they are going to have to take matters into their own hands.
Okay, sir. Talking about the APC style of government, which you've just mentioned, that is like a cartel. Some people would actually say that they love this system. Now, somebody like Mr. Kenneth Okongo recently said that Peter Obi does not have a grasp of Labour Party. He does not want to be a godfather or play the role of a godfather, and that is why the party seems to be in disarray. So would you align your thoughts with him that you need that kind of, as a big man or as the leader of a party, if you are in Peter Obi's shoes, will you be that kind of an all-encompassing leader that will want to flog everybody into line, so that your party will have a structure and then everybody follows you, or you prefer the P2B style where he allows everybody to do their thing?
With politics, I think that one has to be very fluid and adaptable. There is some value in what Mr. Okonkwo said. There is some value. Okay. Look at all the parties in Nigeria currently now. They look like they're in disarray. I mean, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the Senate recently, I watched during Democracy Day, I believe, he said it like it gives him pleasure to see all these parties in disarray.
Yeah.
Now, being in disarray weakens your position. It weakens it significantly. We must tell ourselves the truth. So, is there a benefit to having a strong man that will put his foot down and say, this is how this party must be structured? Yes, there is. There's a benefit to that. At the same time, why does that always come with the removal of democracy in the system? His Excellency Peter Obi is somebody that truly believes in democracy. He wants you, emerge. You go and do your work in your local government. Do your work, emerge. Emerge. He's not trying to suppress anybody, right? In a system that works, that is something that should be applauded.
Okay.
In a system where you have political party where everybody has the same values, or maybe they don't have the same values, but similar values, similar ideology, we have a similar interest of where we want to go and what we are trying to achieve. Those are things that should be appreciated.
Yeah.
But then you have a situation where there's so much confusion. Some people, they say their term has expired. The people say their term has not expired. Right? The Supreme Court has given a judgment that has only brought even more confusion. We're waiting for INEC to interpret the judgment, and INEC is taking its time. It's just creating a lot of unfortunate circumstances. So my answer to your question is, we almost need, and not just as a party leader, but also as a president, we almost need a benevolent dictator.
Sorry to put in. Is that something that would what's the word now? Is that something that would help us as Africans? The word dictator already
is scary.
And that's why when I started this conversation, I said that we need to start asking ourselves the hard questions. How long was Lee Kuan Yew president of Singapore? Look at the Chinese system. Look at what it has brought for the people in China. Unfortunately, you have people that seize power in Africa and they just want to be in power for themselves and their family. But if you have a benevolent, when I say benevolent, because we have, some people say, oh, Ibrahim Traore, he came into a coup. This is bad. When people see me support him or share his tweet, they say, you are looking, you want to be a governor, but you are supporting a military dictator that came in. Okay, yeah. What of all the other ones that have been president for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, that France is clapping for them, America is clapping for them, they don't call them a dictator because they get all and what they want from their country. So as Africans, we must start to ask ourselves questions. Am I going to point my finger at Thomas Sankara and say he was a dictator? This man literally, in the short time before they killed him, transformed Burkina Faso in so many ways. And Ibrahim Traore is doing the same. Right? So, I'm not in any means calling for a coup in Nigeria. I'm saying that the personality that we're going to need in a party, and even as president, is somebody that's a no-nonsense person, that is upright, that is righteous, and is constantly looking for the best, maximizing the opportunities for the Nigerian. Right? Yeah. But there's a lot of nonsense around this place that you have to have a strong hand. If not, you're going to be there for 4 years, and 4 years will come and go, and nothing would have been done. And to be able to achieve that, you must be righteous yourself. Because you cannot be stealing from one hand and pointing to one and trying to stop somebody from stealing. It cannot work. It cannot work. But when you come in and you are righteous about this thing, you are not stealing, so nobody around you can steal.
Yeah.
Based on that righteousness, you then command respect. Based on that respect, they will either try and kill you. Like you see all the assassination attempts at Dora Quinley, when she wanted to change the whole NAFDAC process and sanitize it and clean it, because so many people were making money from selling fake drugs to Nigerians. Okay? But if she went in there and was doing paddy and doing deals, okay, let me too have a company that's going to bring in fake drugs, I'm in charge of NAFDAC, I'll just give it a pass, all that. Nobody will try those assassination attempts, right? Because they'll do a deal. They'll sit down, they'll make a deal happen.
Yeah.
So, when I say benevolent dictator, we're talking about a strong leader that will also value democracy, but be able to hold onto the helm of affairs strong and not let it go. Right? That is sort of the kind of leadership that I feel we might need as a people. I mean, look, recently they were talking about how the refineries are up and working in Port Harcourt and so on. They said they spent $2.1 billion or something.
And it was a loan.
On it. A loan that Gen Z is going to have to pay. It's not Tinubu or Sheyi that's going to pay that loan. It's the opportunity cost of having good roads, the opportunity cost of having good healthcare, the opportunity cost of having good primary education, primary healthcare that this next generation should benefit from. Instead, that money will be taken to pay back that loan. First, they will first service that loan, then they will now pay back that loan. Meanwhile, the refineries that should be producing, where we should now be generating money, or at least the cost of production down based on the cost of transportation, cost of fuel price that we should reduce. So that will also reduce the cost of food and bring down the cost of food inflation, because the reason why food has become so expensive is the price of fuel. That's the benefit we should have. That's not what we have. Now they say they've shut the thing down, that they spent $2.1 billion on for, I don't know what is it.
Another round of maintenance.
So in that kind of situation, you need a strong hand. Everybody that's in charge of that thing should go to jail. There should be a special court set up for things like this. It's not the thing that, because justice is not justice by just getting a judgment. Justice is also about the timing with which that judgment is passed.
I agree.
Because the reality of Nigerians and Lagosians and everybody concerned is something they are facing on a daily basis. They are it's not when that judgment comes that they start feeling it. They are feeling it today, tomorrow. There are people that can only eat every 2 days. They eat lunch every 2 days now. They've normalized it, and this goes back to what we're talking about, where we are constantly adapting. And these are not lazy people. These are hardworking people. Right? So that strong hand where you have a passion against injustice, you have a passion against crime. You look at Thailand, you look at China. If they find that you are corrupt in government, the penalty is death. It's based on these things that they can be the great nation that they are today. Do you know what it takes to have achieved this level of greatness, with Europe trying to stop you, with America trying to stop you, and yet you're still able to overcome and be this great? Very disciplined leadership, because your leaders are supposed to be the best of you. Your leaders are supposed to be the best of you, leading you. A leader is someone that can see what the population cannot see. They have seen it, and they start planning it ahead. You are not supposed to elect somebody that both of you were scoring the same grade in school. Why? Why is that person leading you? This is what I'm saying. We need to start thinking. You see, Henry Ford says the hardest thing to do is to think, right? As a people, we need to start thinking. It's not just shalaye, just vibes, and just, I like that man because it's my tribe, he speaks my language. No, you're consigning yourself and your generation to poverty. Those people that you are supporting, when they see that everything is messed up, they will send their children abroad. They will be okay. We, the masses of this country, must start to have deeper, more quality thoughts. Your leader is not supposed to be thinking at the same level that you are thinking. Your leader should be in front, should see far, should have a vision that he now comes back and tells you that vision. You buy into that vision and you come behind him and you know that the future is going to be good. When last was the future good in this country? We are constantly on the nose dive. When I finished from, I think the time, it was during Obasanjo. When I finished from university in 2008, all my friends, not one, all my friends all moved back. Because we were scared we were missing out. Yeah. These were people that, the school I went to, you don't go for job interview. The company comes to the school. The company comes and interviews you in school because they are struggling to get the best minds. And these friends were also in similar schools. All of them moved back to Nigeria. That is the potential. That is the dream of Nigeria. So it is possible. Nobody was jackpotting and crossing deserts that time now.
Yeah. Even if they were, it was just, very little.
Maybe very, but if people in America, people in England are running back to Nigeria, it must have been very, very little, if at all there was. So these things, there's a reality, there's a world in which Nigeria can live up to its promise.
Right, okay. Let's go back to grassroots.
Okay.
It's a video of you actually.
Okay.
I think late 2022,
all right,
early 2023. There's a video of you doing your grassroots, and you were with some, for lack of better words, touts, Agbero. Anyone you see as a spirit leads, that's your business. And you were talking to them, and you asked one guy, said, the guy was quite eloquent, right? And the guy said something along, I think he said he studied art or fine art.
I remember.
He was very eloquent.
Yeah.
There was something you said, I can't remember the exact words you said, but let me paraphrase it. Something along the line of, this is what they don't want you to see.
Exactly.
Basically, you were saying that guy, on the surface, you look at him, he looks like an omota.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend anybody. But when he opened his mouth and you were having a conversation, you could tell that this is somebody that went to school. Emphasis on this is what they don't want you to see. Now, circle back to young people not too young to run. The other day, Gowon was on TV, and I thought to myself, when Gowon was doing his thing, Gowon was barely in his 30s.
Yeah.
He was barely in his 30s. Like, you could say he was even in his 20s, and he was already at his peak. But in my generation, our youth is fading away, right? And it is getting worse. And it's almost like the system has been set to just take us out. So again, emphasis on this is what they don't want you to see. What is it that the gatekeepers of the grassroots, right? I know I'm saying gatekeepers of the grassroots because that happened in the grassroots. So you'd be surprised that there are a lot of eloquent people in the grassroots that are very, very intelligent but conditioned, right? So what is that thing the gatekeepers don't want us to see?
Yeah, they rule. I'm a poor. That's a fantastic question. I don't know if it's people don't want us to see, gatekeepers don't want us to see, or we don't want to see it. You see, there's a dehumanizing of people and an othering, the other. They are othered, right? When they do not meet society's expectation of people of a certain age. So you don't see them anymore. You see an identity or a caricature that you are expected to see. It's when you look deeper and you are bothered to ask questions that you actually learn these things, like this thing. Because I've been telling people this thing, and it almost seemed like, oh, I was just talking nonsense. But that day, I knew it was going to happen because it's an experience I always have. And I think a friend was there with me. And I said, please record this conversation. Because I tell this story so many times and it just seemed like nobody believed me. Because I make it a point. You see, sometimes in life, to overcome a fear, you have to address that fear. So, people always made it seem like, Ajebota, look at you, posh kid, you want to do politics, you want to do... So, early on, even from local government level, I will go in. I'll go and greet them, go and sit down, talk to them. So, I had a better understanding that all of these things we see, when you go to Mushin or Agege and you're doing all that, it's all a coping mechanism. It's just so that they will not be picked on. It's just so that they will not be bullied. It's just so that they will also have a seat on the table.
Yeah.
Right? That they fit in, that they belong at that level. Right? Because the state, the country has failed them. You have people that just by virtue of their father dying, their whole life collapses.
I agree.
Right? Their whole life collapses, and one step, two step, they are on the street. And there is no coming back. You know, when you listen to stories, you just see how just 1-2 steps, because there is no social safety net.
True.
There's no social safety net. They're supposed, once they just get on the street like that, to come back. Nobody's giving them those second chances. 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, then that is now the way of life. You are now going to be collecting money from conductor. You are now, and that becomes your new life. So fortunately, in the video that she's highlighting, there were 2 or 3 people that were in that video. One, he said he graduated from UNILAG, he studied art. The other one went to Nsukka, he did something, but he was just on the street. Life happened. Life happened. Now, I always ask this question. I say, if I can guarantee you a job, will you work? Because there's this idea also that a lot of these people are lazy. They don't want to work. If you give them work, they will not do it. No, that's too simplistic. And again, we have to ask ourselves the real questions. First of all, we're in a state, especially Lagos, and a country where laziness and violence has been glorified. So if you are aggressive and gangster, you will rub shoulders with the politician. You will be invited to Aso Rock. You will be on the same table with all the senators and all the big men.
Yes.
So you are reflecting what society now values. So obviously a young man that does not have any business being violent or anything feels that the more violent he is, the more likely he can get up there. The more that guy will respect him, the more he'll be called up. And there's a lot of money in that chain. Billions. A whole amount of money in that chain. You got people like MC Olomo, his son is going to MIT.
Yes.
Right? That's not cheap. At the time when I was at MIT, we were paying school fees of $70,000 to $80,000 a year. That's not cheap. So he's doing that, right? And that I mean, you're a good father, you send your children to a good school. But the young men that are running up and down on the road, if they break their leg, they're on their own. There's no healthcare insurance for them. There's no fund that says all these billions that you're collecting, right? Your children are guaranteed to go to school so that they will not be on the street like you. Then you now think about society. Think about these young men and all the illegitimate children that they are having that are not going to grow up in a family structure that will also be raised by the street. Right? So it comes down to the unit level of family. That's where social engineering comes in. That's where thinking. It's not about just light, water. Government is supposed to think. You see, when government spends money on giving a woman with a child a house in England, right? Giving them free education, it's because they are calculating how much it will cost to have this person in prison. The damage that child will do to the society's fabric. So they weigh the cost and try and prevent that from happening. It's more than just we did roads, we built bridge. There must be social engineering in your society, right? So that when you set up a company, you can reach out and people that will come for your job application will be sound people because they got a quality education, right? So it's a mixture of a number of all of these things. Of these things.
All right, sir. You've had will I call it Twitter spats or public spats with the Commissioner of Environment in Lagos because of his approach, to trying to tame the tide of flooding, which he goes with tractors, pulls down buildings and all that. And you've been on record many times saying that is not the best approach, that something else could be done.
Tokumbo Wahab.
Yes, Mr. Tokumbo Wahab. Now, some people online, especially Twitter, will come out to say their reality, which is that Lagos smells. And then you hear, no, it doesn't smell, go back to your state. What do you think? Does Lagos smell? And if it smells, what can be done to better manage the waste management, whatever, of Lagos, and then make this city that we're in a more resilient city?
Okay, I'll come to that question, but I feel like I've not done your question justice.
Why do you
I
think
don't know
you've not
why.
done- Okay.
I feel
Have another rebuttal.
I feel that I've not really gotten to the point of the youth being educated. Okay, the government system has failed them. We need a system that makes sure that our youth are not left behind. There's also a deliberate attempt to put our youth on drugs so that they can always be useful tools for the political elite, right? And that's something that must also be questioned and challenged. And we just need to do better for our youth.
Sorry to. Are you saying the availability of drugs is being allowed?
100%. Seriki Aru, for instance, in Ikeja, under bridge, there are people that send in drugs to these communities, right? So it's just like impoverishing your populace. The more dependent that they are, the more you can get them to do what you want, right? So I also feel that. I think also it's about value systems. I think that's what I want to talk about. The values that we celebrate in society, that needs to be changed. We need to start celebrating intelligence. We need to start celebrating hard work, right? So we start to re-engineer the values that young people have and what they aspire to, impact that they aim to have. For instance, you look at in China, the algorithms that we experience on TikTok here, it's not the same algorithms that are going on in China.
Yeah.
The algorithm in China is celebrating innovation,
science,
intelligence, science. They are engineering their people, right? We are celebrating dance, and dance is okay, but we are being significantly left behind. We have a huge youth population that has not come anywhere close to their potential, and is a ticking time bomb, because the longer we live it like this, the longer people don't have job to do. An idle mind's devil's workshop, right? And we have too much potential to be at that level. I think that's where I'll leave your question. Thank you. Now, you asked me about Mr. Wahab. Does Lagos smell or not? And why they get angry when you tell them the truth. Again, I say to people, a government that comes in with a desire to lead the people, servant leaders, they don't get angry when you tell them your experience. Their first reaction is to solve that experience and make your experience a better one.
Okay.
Why are you insulting or angry with people when they tell you that they're experiencing a smelly Lagos? You should be figuring out, okay, what is causing this smell? How can we address it? How can we change it? But then, like you said, they start telling you, go back to your state. Okay, me, I'm from Lagos State. Lagos is smelly. Where do you want me to go back to? Where do you want me to go? I don't have anywhere to go. My family has been here over 200 years. I don't have anywhere else to go. Lagos is smelling. Let's do something about it. I made a tweet, and people can go on my Twitter and check. I put a whole statement and a list of solutions to this problem, right? From covering our gutters. All of these people, they have money. They travel up and down. When they go to Dubai or go to London, they see open gutters. They complain that they always turn the problem back on the people. If you want to turn problem on the people, then be with the people. Don't be leader. Don't be leader. Go stay with us, the people. Let's find someone else that will solve the problem, right? You go to England, you go to America, you go to London, and you go to Dubai. The gutters are not open, so we have to cover our gutters, right? We have to have a more holistic system of waste management, not this picking and packing that they are doing. Waste management implies that you're upcycling, you're recycling, you're taking advantage of the waste that you're producing, and you're actually doing it in a way that minimizes the odors and the smells that are happening. Also, the way you plan things, your scenario planning, how you manage your waste, okay, you say that you want Lagos not to smell. You're angry that we are telling you that Lagos is smelling. But if somebody now wants to get involved in Loma as a PSP, you must know somebody that knows somebody. So you are in a situation where you are not operating at maximal level. Imagine if to be an Uber driver, you have to have connections to the people in the Uber structure. Clearly, Uber will not be as efficient as it is.
I agree.
Right? You must have a plug and play system because you want to maximize how many people can get involved. You must also have a monitoring system. The latest spat I had with the commissioner was a situation where he proudly said that waste is cleared from somewhere, if I recall, once every 3 weeks or once a month. I don't remember 100%, but it was a long period of time. You are literally saying that these people are pigs. Because why should I stay in the midst of my field for 3 weeks? And I'm a human being? Or you don't expect that I will push that waste as far away from me as possible to the road, to the gutter, so that I will pray, God, please send rain, so that the rain will dispose of my waste.
So that you can breathe.
So I can breathe. Let the poor breathe.
Exactly.
So what are we saying? That's unacceptable. Waste should be cleared at least once a week. And if you don't have the big PSP operators, so these bags are all separated. Everybody knows, okay, these ones are plastics. These are organic waste. Organic waste are going to be converted to fertilizers, which generates biogas. But the funds from all of this goes back to the local government. So you now incentivize the local government to ensure that waste is being, upcycled and waste is being separated. So once you've created those incentives, people start to see waste as money.
Okay.
Not just to sit down and be stinking up Lagos, right? And this is because Loma has been centralized. So the man in your ward, in charge of your CDA, is not looking at it as a responsibility, looking at it as Loma's responsibility, right? So it's a new kind of thinking that must be brought to this waste management system. But I put out a whole report, whether it's about the places how we sand fill, processes that should be done on the sand fill, and tying our waste to drainage of Lagos State and all of that. And if Lagos smells, it smells. Obviously, not every part of Lagos smells, but a signal. I was telling you how I was exporting cashew. So when you stay in Kogi, you stay in Oyo, Bomosho, is saying these are places where the quality of air is so fantastic.
Yes.
The moment you just drive into Lagos, and as soon as that car it hits your room, it hits you. Yes, we have a huge population, but that population can also be a strength. Right? If the vehicles on our roads were not emitting the fumes that they were doing, if we not have trash just staying on the streets for so long without being picked up, Lagos can smell good. Right? Even our waterways, there are parts of the lagoon that you sit by, the nicest hotel, you sit down next to the lagoon and it stinks.
Yes.
You see, I don't want to name any hotels because then it's not like I'm demarketing them. But there are several hotels in highbrow parts of Lagos. You sit down by the lagoon, it stinks because defecation is being pushed into the water. When they come and take up sewage from people's houses, they're going to dump it in lagoons. They say they have a treatment plant, but it's very, very basic at best. Right? So a lot of sewage is still going to our waterways, causing a lot of cholera and diseases as well, right? And so we need a better sewage management system. We need the implementation of that and the enforcement of that to make sure that all the waste that are picked up from people's houses is going through that process as well. And then also introducing organic plants and animals into our waterways. Like for instance, they should just go and look at the Charles River in Boston. A point was there where people were dumping feces and all sorts into it. It was stinking. But then over 30 years, even more, they've cleaned it up. They introduced bottom feeders like mussels, shrimp, just put it in there and they just start to clean up the water. Right? And now today people are sailing on the Charles and it's a lovely place to go and spend time with your kids in summer. You sit down next to each other, not smelling any stink or anything. So there are solutions to these things that a lot of people have done all over the world. And I feel that it's not something that is too much to ask of the government.
Thank you. I think sometimes people forget that you're an architect and when you study architecture, you do a lot of, engineering, environment, strength of material science, all those small DYDX. And so trust me, when he's he's not saying this because, and I'm not trying to campaign for him here. He's not saying it because, he's an aspirant. This is his profession. So you might want to consult or listen to him when he's talking about these things. Anyways, still on the grassroots, you're very big on get organized, go into the system, right? And you capitalize. You're one of those few people that you know how to milk. You throw something at me, I will milk it and make something good out of it. So when people were calling you, social media governor, the governor for the Gen Z, God. So, but you capitalized on it. Yeah, you came online, but you did grassroots. Where do you get organized? When you're speaking about we have to get organized, online is good, it's loud, but is it effective?
So you need you have to see the online, you have to see online mobilization using technology as a tool.
Okay.
It's not an end in itself. I think that's the mistake we make as this young generation. It's even like when people want to complain about what's going on in the country, they just come, they tweet, they feel better, and they carry on. Sometimes I feel like if there was no social media, we might have achieved success as a nation much sooner, because people will have to take out that frustration in real life. But social media also acts as this buffer or this therapist, even where you come, you take your frustration out. Some people go as far as insulting so many other people. They feel better, they've dumped their aggression, and they carry on with their day. But so social media cannot be an end in itself. Politics, the election does not happen on social media. I hope it happens on the ground at polling units. It's collated at ward level. It's collated at state level. So you need a ground game. You need a finishing. Now, to do this is one. When you start on this journey, it only ends when you say you're not doing it again. Whether you won election, whether you don't win election, is continuing. The moment you've come out, the moment you come for an interview, the moment you're talking to somebody downstairs, politics is +1. Your platform is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. On today, you give up and say you're not doing it again. Maybe you might have the goodwill to be able to transfer that platform to somebody else, but typically it doesn't work like that.
Yes.
So you just have to continue. Now, on that journey, you're going to meet people. You're going to meet people that you can trust. You're going to meet people that you respect. You're going to meet people that are passionate as much about this issue as you are. You see, the key is not finding someone that is so passionate about you, because that wanes over time. People have expectations in life. You can do 10 things that someone asks for. The moment you don't do the 11th thing, it's as if the 10 things you did not matter.
Yes.
Right? And on that, they'll turn their back on you. Right? So I always prefer somebody that, okay, your love for Nigeria is the same love I have for Nigeria. So even if you don't like me today, that doesn't affect your love for Nigeria. And we can still work together because we have that shared ideal. Now, when you identify these people, you now have to start. So that is a potential force. You need to make it a vector force. A vector force is now saying, okay, in this your community, can we achieve such and such? Can you give me a list of 5 people that in this community that we'll now start working with? So for instance, if I want to do micro health insurance program in your community, I mean, he's one of the people that I will say, like in his community in Lagos Island, he said, yes, I would anchor it here, you bring it here, I'll talk to my people and we'll get on and people come and benefit from this. So that's what we did. Now, based on that, we met people, registered people, we are in touch with people, and that is organizing. Now, once you now vectorize it, you now localize it. So you are in this community, now are you registered to vote? If you are not registered to vote, we are going to be helping you to get registered. We're going to let you know you have to do this. This is the time. Whatever we can do to facilitate that, whether it's even just bringing snacks on that day, just to show you we are with you. Okay, take this water, take this gala or whatever. Just we are cheering for you. We are cheering you on, right? Once they are registered, you now localize them to the polling unit, right? At the polling unit is where the magic happens. No matter what you want to say on camera from now to tomorrow, that polling unit is where it is. And in the 2023 election showed it. I mean, the songs that came out, LP, 73, exactly. All that was at the polling unit. It was not on TV, It was at the polling unit. So,
all right. Okay, so my next question is just going to be yes or no, then I'll let you know when to elaborate.
All right.
So, is the grassroots powerful in Nigeria, or is it just something we romanticize? Yes or no?
It's powerful in Nigeria, yes.
Okay, so it's not something we romanticize, Abby. 100% sure.
100%. We don't romanticize.
Now you can elaborate.
No, go ahead.
We don't romanticize it because what is the grassroots? First, let's try and understand what that is. The grassroots are the people that are closest to the polling unit in a particular place. Right? That the people that are closest to the polling unit in a particular place. Now, you'll find that if you focus solely on social media, you start to see that there's a concentration of where these people live.
On social media, right?
Yeah. Okay, so if you take a poll, like for instance, we're running this program, our Lagos.ng, and you can go there, register, you get access to applying for jobs, small, medium loans, raffles, healthcare insurance, blah, 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 blah. So you have almost 17 to 18,000 people that have registered on this thing. And then you look at the breakdown of where these people live, and you see that huge concentrations live in particular places in Lagos. Right? And there's a huge, so like you find that you don't have proper representation in a significant part of Lagos as well. Right? But grassroots politics is the understanding that at every polling unit there are human beings there. That will not be on your Twitter, that will not be on your Facebook. They have their own social media ways of interacting with themselves, whether it's by voice notes, because some of them cannot read or write, but they can send voice notes to each other, and they're in WhatsApp groups, and that's how they're communicating. Right, so at that polling unit, who are the people close to that place, right? How can you reach them? What is their interest? What matters to them? Who are the people you can trust to communicate your ideas and your ideals to those people, right? And those kind of communication is one-on-one. And now, the danger of not being strong at grassroots level is when people spread propaganda or lies about you, because there is nobody to counter it, it goes viral. And it's going viral, and you are not aware it's going viral because you are looking at Twitter, you're looking at social media. But these people are sharing information through WhatsApp, through text, through other means. And you have nobody to counter the lies that they are being told. There was a lie that my father is not my father. Yes. There was a lie that I grew up, I'm one of the founding members of IPOB. And I grew up in the East. And I am angry with my father. That's why I want to run for governor, to come in and take over Lagos, to suppress my father. That was a lie that people told. Right? And because at a certain level, first you have to think about the education and exposure that a lot of people have, because education is about thinking and asking questions and figuring things out, right? That's the skill you're supposed to get from education. So if someone comes and tells you something, you're able to say, okay, you know what, let me go and research on my own to find out if it's true. Now, there is a huge population that we have in this country that does not do that. If somebody tells them something that they trust the person, they just believe it hook, line, and sinker. And if you don't have somebody to counter that communication at that level, that's what will now become. So the grassroots is extremely important. You must have a solid ground game at the polling units, right? And that you need it to win an election.
So that brings me to my last yes or no question. So the people in the grassroots, because they make up the collective that determine the trajectory of this country. My personal belief is the political ruling class are a very small set of people.
Yes.
The only difference between them and, the people is that they are small, but they are more organized.
Very organized. And
as compared to the people that are larger but are not organized. And I know my question has been centered around like grassroots organization. So my last yes or no question for you is, do you believe that if the larger collective can get organized, they can take out the political ruling class?
110,000%. And also, there's something is again to be said. When people think grassroots, there's this concept that, oh, it's people that are uneducated or illiterate or poor or starving or anything. No, that's a mistake. Grassroots are the closest people to that polling unit. Think of it that way. In VI, there's grassroots, right? In VI, there's grassroots. In Ikoyi, there's grassroots. When you think about it, even just literally, you are in a forest. There are trees that are forming the tree canopy, right? The roots of the grass are the closest to the bottom, right? So we are saying what is closest to the ground, and how do you relate at that point? So do you have polling unit agents in that place? Do you have canvassers in that place? Do you have people that will stand up in case anybody wants to intimidate people that want to support you? Right? Because sometimes even if you don't have people in a place, you have people that like you because they've heard your radio, they've heard you on the radio, they've watched a podcast, they watched an interview, or they just want change. But do you have an administration, an organization at that level to be able to shepherd those people? I'll give you an example. In Ibejuleki at the last election, after a presidential election, when they realized that that we have the following that we have, they got organized and they literally held themselves in a chain sort of formation. That's the APC, to prevent all our supporters from crossing the waterway to go and vote. Their polling unit was on the other side. So you had huge population that could not cross to vote. Now, would you say you don't have grassroots following? No. You have people that wanted to vote for you. They voted for you during the presidential election.
Can't believe it.
But you have grassroots organization where if some people are trying to prevent and intimidate your people from crossing the river to vote, you have people that will stand up to them, that will resist that intimidation.
Yeah.
That's grassroots organization as well. So at every point in time, in Lagos, all across Lagos, you have a phone number of a person that's in charge of managing your affairs in that ward, on that street, on that polling unit. You know, it's organization, it's administration, and it's extremely, extremely important. Let's stop thinking that grassroots is just, the poor people, the uneducated people. No. It is who are the closest people to the polling unit at every point in Lagos State.
Thank you.
All right. So, again, thank you so much, Jervy. I think my question again will go back into core politics.
That's
fine. I'm a political analyst, so I like to, bring out the best from, the guest that comes.
Yeah.
In 2023, you contested. And I would like to say that this is 2025. You're seated on this chair, you're the front runner, right?
By God's grace.
By God's grace, for 2027. Based on the fact that you got over 300,000 votes.
That they announced.
That they announced, with all this suppression.
That they are located. Thank you.
So, with all this suppression.
Yes.
Right, so, at least you had that amount of votes.
Yes.
So, it would mean that you're the front runner. But a lot of names have come up. We've heard names like the son of the president, heard names like Femi Gbadebo, heard names like Mudashiru Basa in Lagos. Two questions, in this conversation. First one is, do you feel any way, intimidated by the big names you're hearing? Oh, those people have some following. Because if you look at those people, when they march out, they come out with, in quotes, some following, and people say, people know these people, So, do you feel intimidated? That's the first thing. Secondly, to those people that you've even mentioned in Ibejuleki, that had to withstand that kind of pressure to vote for you. And a lot of people, because you also visited, some places where, people were injured, people
100%.
were, you know, in the hospital.
Yeah.
Because of your ambition.
Yes.
What would you tell them in 2027 that would be different, that would make them say, okay, we think this is the right time, because now we're not even facing the incumbents now.
Yes.
So it is a free for all,
Yeah.
right? Whoever has, you know, more ground can win it. And I think I have more ground because I've had the votes, so I can win it. So what would you tell them that would make them confident enough to say, you know what, let's brace it again a second time and come out for Gbadebo? So it's the 2-in-1. It still goes back to the same.
That's a fantastic question.
Thank you.
Thank you. First thing, I'm not intimidated by anybody.
Okay.
Intimidated why? By who? For what?
They are career politicians. Mudashira has been in the House of Assembly for
He is a career
years.
politician that has supported that has supported a kleptocratic government that has looted our Commonwealth for over 2 decades.
Okay.
Right? You do not have the spine as a man to say no, this is wrong. Instead, you uplift it, you support it, you enshrine it. I'm supposed to be intimidated by that? I can't see. The people that will intimidate me are people that I look and I say, wow, this man stands for something other than himself and his selfish interests.
Okay.
This man has changed the face of education in his local government. This man, wow, the hospitals in his local government, it's just fantastic. My God, how would I compete? How am I going to cope?
Fair.
Not, oh, you're a big man because you are proximate to power that is operating in a sort of semi-organized criminal crime kind of situation where our development is backward, because for anything to be done in Lagos, you must have some kind of equity in the company. Exactly. Or some kind of kickback or some kind of corruption or some kind of... No. Now, the main question, which is this, is that I want everybody to know that everything has changed though. Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour of 2025 is not the same Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour of 2023, 2022. Yes. And I think I can say that for even His Excellency Peter Obi. I'm sure when you listen to him talk now, you know that something has changed.
Yeah.
Because the institutions that we believed in have shown themselves to not be worth our belief in them. We had an INEC chairman that by himself, we did not beat him, we did not hold gun to his head. He said he would do electronic transmission of voting. That's what he came and he told us of his own accord. He drew up the protocol by which INEC could behave and participate in an election. And then overnight decided that no more electronic transmission of voting. So are we going to believe anything that is going to come and say now? So for us, and that is why right now is the time for Nigerians, for Lagosians to look at the politicians that are not decamping. Those are the ones that have your interests at heart. Everybody that is decamping is looking out for their own pockets and their own interest. Because if truly you have the interest of the people, there is no way you would decamp to the party that has made inflation this high, that has made electric prices this high, that has reduced and depreciated the value of our currency to the point where so many businesses are closing down, so many people are losing their jobs, so many people cannot afford to eat. The price of rice is now over 100,000. I remember a time where I was buying bag of rice to give people at 7,000 naira. At 7,000, I remember. This is not, oh, my father told me. I remember. Right? So, as a politician, you know all of these things, and then you now say you are going to go and join the people that are bringing all this suffering on the people. Then tomorrow you come and say that you have the interests of the people at heart. No. So, I'm begging and pleading with Nigerians that they should observe all of these things, right? Because no politician is going to be able to do this by themselves. All of us have to come together, united, to face this set of people that call themselves rulers over us, because you can't call them leaders. Leaders lead from the front. If their people are suffering, they too, they'll tighten their belt and suffer with their people. That's what proper leadership is supposed to be. And there must be consequences in this next election. Nobody should be able to still vote and think that he will just carry on with his life and everything is going to be hunky-dory and it does not matter. No. When you are destroying the destiny and the lives of millions of human beings, there must be consequences. And as a people, like I said, no politician, no political party can do it by themselves. All we can do is assure you that we are there with you. We are not going to compromise. We are not going to sell you out. We are going to fight at the lead. We are going to be at the front of this struggle, of this fight. But we need you to also be part of it. That means that at your polling unit, when you vote, you cannot go home. You must stay at that polling unit. You must count the votes. That polling unit agent, the INEC official, cannot leave that place without announcing the results. From that polling unit, all of us are moving to the World Coalition. Everybody must move to that World Coalition. From there, we are moving to the LG Coalition. By the time the people that want to change results look out, they should see a flood of human beings. They should know that if they do what is wrong, they will not come out of that place.
But with heavy security, what do we do?
See, we outnumber these people. Count all the police, count all the army. The human beings of Lagos outnumber them at least 10 to 1.
At least 100 to 1.
Even 100 to 1. I'm just being conservative. So as a people, because you see, it is us, after that election, the next 3-4 years, it's us that suffer it all. Abi? Mm-hmm. The people that are in charge of all this decision making, the government is paying them money. The money they are spending is government money. They want to buy a new car, it's government that buys it for them. They want to renovate their house with 20 billion, it's government money that they will use. You that voted, you cannot go to government and they'll give you 1 billion to renovate your house. Mm-mm. So it's like when two elephants are fighting, it's the grass that suffers. You are going to suffer this fight. You are going to suffer this thing if we do not do the right thing. Right? And this is when people are fighting. These are just people just oppressing the people that they are supposed to lead, that they are supposed to uplift. I mean, look at what happened in Benue. So many people were killed. By force, President had offered a statement for the first time. This is not the first time that people are being killed, but yes. if you look through his last 2 years, he has said so many condolences to other people outside the country. This is the first time he's offering condolence. Okay, fine. Thank you for your condolence. Okay, now you are going to visit, and you come and visit as if it's a jamboree, as if you are going to commission a road or something, a project. There is no sign of empathy. It's not by doing like this that is empathy. Empathy is emotion in action, right? It's emotion in action. I feel for you, and I'm moving to show that feeling I have for you. It comes in my thought process. It comes in what I say. It comes in what I wear.
True.
It comes in my planning to get to the place. You cannot, a whole president of a country comes and says he could not go somewhere. Oh, you are the president. You don't know that the road is bad? You don't know? If you were campaigning and you had to go there and you knew you were going to go there, you organize for a helicopter to get you there. This is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's not new to helicopters. He can organize a helicopter to get there, but it was not that important to him. To get there was by force. So please, Nigerians, Lagosians, there are a couple of politicians that have stood their ground. They have not defected. They are not doing the whole, if you cannot beat them, join them. They're not thinking about their interests, because their lives will be so much better if they go and join the current people in power. They've stood because they are standing on the side of the people. Let's support them. Let's all come together and take this election very, very seriously, because bad governance only gets worse and worse. We always think that it cannot get worse. I mean, after people removed Jonathan because they felt, this is really bad. It cannot get worse. Buhari came and showed us that there is a bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the pot. We now got to that bottom of the pot. We thought, okay, at least these guys are exposed. They have some level of understanding of economics or whatever. I did not support him because I knew the reality and the truth, but some people did. And now they are making Buhari look good.
Yes.
So it can get worse.
True.
And it is time for us to take this thing seriously. Let us elect servant leaders. Let us also do the work so that the people that enter that office know it's not by their money, it's not by their might, but it's by you people that put them there, so you can remove them if you deem it fit. And that is the only time where we'll have leaders that are responsive to the people, leaders that put the people first, and leaders that are constantly thinking about how to make the lives of Nigerians, Lagosians better.
Okay. All right, sir. This is my last question. There are a lot of defections, just like you've just pointed out. How does it make you feel when you see some of your party members moving in droves to this APC? And then, what will be your condition for moving to APC? Have they approached you? Is it something that is possible?
I'm sorry, I had to laugh. Okay, but your first question is it's a good one, because I was just thinking about it. What do I think about that? First of all, I understand that the Labour Party and the momentum that we experienced in 2023 elections was not one of a group of people that came together because they shared an ideology. Some people do. For instance, my ideology, His Excellency Peter Obi's ideology, they sync together very well. And there are a number of other people like that. But some people were just people that just had the opportunity. And it's not, again, it's about, do you stand with the people or you are looking out for your interest? And for me, I'm happy that these people are exposing themselves. I'll much rather that the new Nigeria that has to be built by selfless people. People that they would approach you with billions and you say no. That has happened to me. That's why I can still talk. Typically, a person that run for governor in Lagos State, after elections, he goes quiet. You don't hear or see him until it's months to election. Right? But I can talk because I turn down all advances. I turn down all advances. I don't take meetings. Of course, I don't take meetings. I don't sit down to talk. No, I turn down all advances. So I can talk. Right? In relation to no, you see, I don't believe it goes against my why. Now, if you want to say, okay, what are the things that will need to be done? One, Alpha Beta needs to be cancelled. That money needs to be spent on education and primary health care in each local government every month. We also need to have an employment benefit system, like a social welfare net. It might not be a lot, but at least it should be money that's tailored to equip people with getting new skills. So, if you've lost your job and things are tough for you, there should be a place where you can go and get and learn a new skill, and you can eat at that place. Right? Micro solutions. Do you understand? So you've lost your job. Maybe you used to be a printer or something. Okay, now maybe you should go and learn how to use cameras, because there's a lot of job opportunities there. And when you attend the class and it's recorded that you actually attended, you can eat. So you know that you will eat and get knowledge. Right? And this is domiciled at the ward level. It's not that you have to enter bus to go to one far place. No, at your ward level, you can achieve that solution. And government is funding that from the money that's normally going to Oga at the top. Right? Now, if they are willing to cancel things like that, if they are willing to open up their accounts transparently and benchmark so that we know that, okay, if you are buying this official car for Lagos State, we know that this car on the market costs 20 million. So there is no reason why you are charging in your budget 150 million for it. Because we must be very deliberate and intentional with the little resources we have. Because when we invest heavily in the people, because a lot of people are making money in Lagos in spite of government. They're not making money in Lagos because government is pushing them, assisting them, creating that framework. No, they are making money in spite of the government. Now, if government comes behind people, the amount of money that will be generated in Lagos State, and then think about how much money that will now be able to generate in terms of taxes and revenue and IGR. So There's a lot more that can be done. But honestly, again, the APC has, under the leadership, especially in Lagos, of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is a special purpose vehicle for his enrichment and his consolidation of power. And that's all that they care about. Every other thing is performative. And people inside there know the truth. They know. It's performative. So I'm not joining that kind of thing. I have too much. I value my name, I value my pedigree, I value what we've done in Nigeria, what we've done in Lagos. I will not stain myself like that. That said, I have a younger sister that's working in this government in DVRT, Domestic Violence Response Team. She's secretary, she's the head of it. I'm very proud of the work she does. I talk about it all the time. If you're a woman in Lagos and you're being abused, it's just a phone call. The team will be there. They'll rescue you. They'll get you out of that situation. They'll put you in a place for. They are doing a brief. I'm so proud of the job that they are doing. And I know so many women. They call me. Oh, can you help me talk to your sister, please? I need this thing. You don't need me. This is not a situation where you must know somebody. This is a phone number call, and they always come back to me and sing glowing praises. So while I come down hard on this government because of the macro things that they are doing and how they are affecting the lives of people, there's still slivers of positivity and hope in some people that are managing to make a difference while being in that system. So I also give that credit where it's due.
Right.
Sorry, but I mean, I need to just finally ask a question, because there are a lot more I wanted to ask, because you've had spats with the government on the health insurance scheme. I know you've had that spat with them. You've also had a spat with them on the GDP, that they mentioned. But if we talk about a lot of things, we may not be here, and your time is spent. But finally, I would like to ask, we saw a few months ago a few disgruntled APC people who had contested the local government elections, and they said boldly that if things happen or continue this way, what happened in 2023, meaning how they lost in 2023
in Lagos,
in Lagos, would happen again. We know that these people are looking for those kind of people. Have they reached out to you? That's what, saying, oh, please, would like to join, whatever you're doing. That's the first question. Second one is, there's an election in July. Are you a part of it? Are you doing anything around that? Because as far as I'm concerned, you are the leader of the opposition in Lagos, at least holding the government to account. You've been the one doing that. Are you doing anything towards that regard, or you're not involved in any Labour Party's wahala for now till that clears itself, and then you would get involved?
Like he says, he always goes into the into.
No, because that's, there's an audience who's looking at what I'm saying.
Okay, so your first question.
APC,
there are two ways to look at it. One, the APC, they always have their issues. They say all these things, 3 days to election, someone puts money on the table, they come back together, and everybody's happy. They go to the election and they deliver for their party, which is a good thing. It's a good thing in a certain light, but it's also a bad thing. It's also a bad thing because it shows that there are a lot of spineless people in that party that are not going to stand up for themselves. They are going to be there. They've seen a man come and suppress them and control the party for himself consistently. They will still be there complaining but agreeing when his son will now come and do the same thing. They will say father and son. It says something about the courage that they have. It takes a lot of courage to say, you know what, I know you guys normally win, but I'm going to step out of that and I'm going to face you guys. I might not have all the money, I might not have all the money I have, I might not have all the connection network, but I will do the work, right? There's someone that did that. I hope his name comes to me. He was representative in Mushin, Kakware. Kakware was part of the APC. They had some issues, and he stepped out and he ran under. The party will come to me, but he always won his elections, and he was a grassroots person. He was not someone that was was a House of Rep and he lived in Ikoyi, meanwhile Representative Mushin was there. He will come, he will pick the children in the bus, he will drive the bus himself, take the children to school, pick them up, bring them back. If you had a problem in neighborhood, you go and talk to your guy. He was your guy, and he will solve that problem. And he won until he retired. The reason why he's not in office today is because he said he doesn't want to do it. Right? So there are people like that. I respect people like that. If you say, are you intimidated? I'm intimidated by someone like that. Okay. You understand? Because it's more than just, I want to just be part of the winning team. No. You can take a stand as a man and say, no. Enough is enough. I'm going to work, I'm going to put in work, and I'll show you that I can do this better. Now, to the Labour Party question, we are currently dealing with some legal issues, as most Nigerians know. At the moment in Lagos State, there are about 4 different factions that have presented candidates.
In Lagos?
In Lagos State, in the Labour Party. About 4 different factions have presented candidates. Then there was one group whose candidates were accepted. Another group has gone to court to try and stop that from happening. So a very confused place right now. We are looking forward to INEC pronouncing that interpretation of the Supreme Court judgment, and then we'll be able to move forward in that direction, move forward. There are a number of councillors, a number of people that have approached me for support, that I see that they are doing the work. It's not, I'm someone that wants to run for office. It's not like I'm in office and you're coming to meet me for support. I also want to run for office. So you want to run, you must have a plan and an agenda of how you're going to run. And when I see that you're running well, okay, let me just give you a bit of a push, and that's where I will be looking at in terms of supporting and all that. At the same time, I've run for local government election before. The reason why I never ran for local government election again after that was at Biro. I remember I was at Biro, went there to
at Burial Avenue, Yaba.
Burial Avenue, Yaba, that's where LASEC's office is. To go and validate ourselves, to make sure our names were listed as the candidates of our respective parties. And they were moving sensitive material. That's the ballot papers and everything. And the bus that were moving it in were flying APC flags. At that point, I just looked at it. First of all, the audacity. For you to have this audacity, you must know that nothing they happen. And then the conflict of interest, because all the people that are working in this thing are employees of the state. So it's not an independent organization, not an independent constitution. But now, can I open my mouth boldly and criticize the APC in Lagos for that? We have Alex Oti in Abia State. That 3 days to election, all these people moved to ZLP and they won everything. Is that normal electioneering?
It is not.
Is that normal? So who am I to now? What am I going to say? So local government elections, I think constitutional reform is important, to have an institution that is truly independent, so that at the grassroots level, the voices of the people can be heard. They can start to take the electioneering even more seriously, because local government is the closest government to the people and actually has the most impact on people's lives.
Okay, all right. It's a very short question. Before we wrap up the show, I usually like to ask guests an unpopular opinion that they hold, but they believe it's true and their supporters should hear. So what's one unpopular opinion?
I want to answer this question with you. No.
You don't want to.
I'm not setting you up.
No, it's not about you setting me up, my brother. That's a very, how we do this? I said we have to ask ourselves a lot of questions. We have to start rethinking what we know.
Right.
The problem now is this: we are in a world where you say A, they turn it to Z, and they just go with it and make it become one big thing. Because I cannot wait. Honest truth, I cannot wait to be like in my 60s, be done with all this politics, and be able to talk my mind. You understand? I am a person that I question everything. I look at things much deeper because I also come from a very historical point of view of something, right? But there are a lot of thoughts that because Nigerians hold information not really based on intelligence but based on emotion. You are so committed to an idea that you are emotionally committed to it. So even if somebody tries to show you something else, your response is an emotional one. And when it's like that, logic sort of goes out of the door, and you cannot really have a productive conversation on that. But an unpopular belief. Hey, God, too many. Too many.
Just one.
Too many. Okay, I'll give you this. And this is just for you to think of. I'm not prescribing anything to anybody. Now, the Oimbo man and the Arab that brought you Christianity and Islam, they tell you that you are the oldest human being in this world. The oldest human beings, the fossils, are located in Africa. Right? They're located in Africa. That's everybody agrees on that, right? Scientifically, everybody agrees on that, right? Now, the God that created you and put you in that place waited after over 120,000 years, waited to now talk to you just 2,000 years ago. Whatever you think about that, and then I'm just going to add one last caveat to this. There's a concept that there is a group of people in this world that are chosen. They are the chosen people. And the God that chose these people created planets, universes. Do you know that as we are sitting down here now, we are rotating very quickly. Now, we are not just rotating around the sun. The sun is also moving. The sun is moving. We don't know where the sun is going to. The sun is going like this. The earth is rotating and rotating around the sun, as are other planets. And we are rotating like this, and we are moving in a straight line that we don't know where we are going. That's just one group of planets. There are an uncountable amount of planets in this universe. Now, that's God that created that. If Earth just tips by slight half a degree off its tangent, the Earth comes out of orbit. Literally comes out of orbit. Now, created all of that and chose a people and said that these people are the chosen people. But they also have the highest rate of cancer in that place in the world. Yes.
Okay. All right.
I do not say anything, no. Just think about it.
Okay. That's something to think about. All right, guys. We have come to the end of the show. This was a very good one. A very interesting, in-depth, heartfelt conversation. Thank you so much, Yaravi, for gracing our table. We hope that you come again sooner than later.
Invite me.
No problem. I will. Any day, anytime, I will invite you. You can't say no anyway, so.
Don't say no. My power is with the people. So any chance I have to speak to the people, address the people, connect, I take it.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for watching the show. Don't forget to subscribe. Please, subscribe. It's important. Subscribe. Do you want me to kneel down, roll on the floor? So please subscribe, like, comment, share. Share with your cat, your dog, the rat that eats your food. Share with your cartel. Share with your cartel. Share with that neighbor that you are beefing. This might be a peace treaty. Share with your teacher. Share with that boy or girl that you like. This might be the thing that might, get you a yes or a no. But just share. And subscribe, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And of course, most importantly, follow us on all social media platforms at The Real Shareholders Podcast. The Real Shareholders Podcast. X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. If they open a new social media platform today, we will be there. And we will see you sooner than later, my loves. Bye.